We had a golfer come see us last week for a lesson, and he told us when he came in that he was confused about how to shift his pressure without shifting his mass. I think we've all heard by now, hopefully, that pressure shifts in the backswing. It moves away in the backswing, shifts forward in the downswing. Hopefully. Okay, so he was on board with that. But he said he'd seen a lot of advice on you shifting pressure without shifting mass. It takes both. Both do shift.
Exactly. I kind of see where he's coming from, because you see, golfers maybe like with too much sway of the body all around, and they're trying to really lock that down and just shift pressure. And again, you're always trying to find kind of a happy medium. And in high level swings, there's mass shifting, especially in the downswing, and pressure on both sides of the swing.
I think part of the confusion comes in actual verbiage. So we've used the term weight shift because it's been around forever. Weight's just the force gravity is putting on your mass. It doesn't really have a direction or a location, it's just weight. Mass, center of mass especially, we can actually track. What Shaun was just describing was like sway. So I can sway my pelvis, but if I offset that with my upper body, I'm not really shifting much, I'm just tilting. Now, if I move everything, now I'm really starting to sling my mass around. Some mass shift is good. Center of mass shift is good. It's what you see in the best players in the world. That can be overdone. It can also be underdone.
When you look at the best players in the world, like a McIlroy, for example, we've used him some in the videos with gears. There's a little going, you can even see it in his swing, right? There's a little going back here to kind of get into this trail foot, winds up, a little recentering, and there's a healthy pelvis shift here, which gets everything moving forward before the hit, so he can control where he hits the ground and hits compresses the irons, and even with the driver, the mass is shifting over there as well. So trying to just lock it down, you'll end up causing more harm than good.
That's right. And you can see a golfer's mass change. You won't be able to track it, obviously, but you can see mass. Let's do a version. This is what he was trying to do. He was trying to shift pressure and not let his mass shift going back. Demonstrate what that would mean to you. And this is what we saw from him.
Well, yeah, I'm cheating because I saw the guy coming in. He was immediately making a move kind of to the left side, trying to get his pressure over there, and desperately trying to avoid anything going away from the target. So it was just kind of leany, spine leaned over, almost like getting ahead of it too much on the backswing, and it caused all kinds of problems on the downswing.
Yeah, you can, and we've done this a lot. We've done this in a lot of videos in the past. I can shift my mass and pressure in two different directions. You think about other sports you've played where you're actually changing directions. So if I've got a basketball and I'm going to throw a fake this way and I pick this foot up, all of my pressure, when this foot's in the air, all of my pressure shifts to my back foot while my mass is moving forward, okay? That happens a little bit in the golf swing, but we're not really changing positions in the golf swing, so it happens much less. Then there's also just moving pressure by just moving mass. So if I move my mass over to my right foot, all of my pressure is going to be on this foot. There's some of that happening in the golf swing. So there's some of both. The main thing is we want to do dynamically and take advantage of the benefits of both.
I mean, that's why I think over the years we've liked these like step drills where you feel like the pressure shift in there without a huge mass move, and then the pressure shift in there with not a huge mass move or a huge sway. You're kind of playing inside your feet a little. And if you bounce your feet like that, bang, bang, you start to feel that movement in your body. That's kind of a good way to start to get some of these sensations in your swing.
You have to realize your mass includes your arms. So if I'm standing up and my center mass is right down the middle of my body and I just throw my arm out, that shifted some mass to the right. And when you're doing the rotation and both arms are swinging that way, that's also going to shift mass. So it doesn't mean I have to sway a ton to move the mass.
Exactly right. And I think part of that, these little drills where, this little step to the right, you can almost catch yourself there. That gets the pressure over, you're catching yourself when the leg hits the ground, and you get that nice wind up where you can fall back toward the middle. So some of these dynamic drills that we've given over the years, super helpful for this.
Okay, let's do the version he was trying to do, and then we'll show you the version we see with the pros.
All right, so it was kind of set up like this. He was turning and kind of leaning his spine to the left.
He was just trying to avoid any mass moving to the right.
And it was making him shift. He was like backing in his hips quite a bit on the back. So it was more like kind of like that motion right there.
Okay, so we want pressure to move forward in the downswing. We don't really want pressure to move forward in the backswing,
Right.
and we want mass to move away some in the backswing so we can move forward in the downswing.
Early too, like
Right there, you saw the mass move only forward, pressure pretty much only moving forward. Okay, so he was trying not to move his mass and he wound up moving his mass in the wrong direction. We see that all the time with regards to head sway, body sway, all that.
sure.
Okay, now let's demonstrate what we see from the best players in the world. There's movement away. Think of Rory's a great example.
Yeah, so if I just kind of take McIlroy swing, we're talking about him in this video.
Everybody's familiar with his swing.
Yeah, so you see him set up to it. He has a little trigger where he kind of opens his hips a little bit. Pressure moves left, and as he starts to turn back, he's sending some mass and pressure to the right, slight amount. As he gets to the top, he backs in a little bit, so there's his recentering. And then as he unwinds, he's going forward a healthy amount. By the time he gets to impact, I think he's 4 or 5 inches forward here. And then he just slings it up into the finish. So it's definitely it's like a flowing motion that happens here, and he's not trying to lock anything in. I think that's the key from this video. You know, the whole company name is Athletic Motion Golf because, you know, moving like an athlete, the opposite of moving like an athlete is to lock anything down and try not to go away on the backswing. It'd be like trying to jump and not bending your knees.
The way I think about it, and we had a tour player kind of years ago. We've been measuring this stuff for a long time, and we're happy to be using the smart to move plates this video. Is mass is kind of slower and cumbersome. It's like the big Firetruck, okay? And you're using pressure to apply the brakes. So if I get my mass moving to the right, like you were just describing with Rory, I'm applying the brakes so I don't keep shifting.
That's it.
And then that slows my mass down and gets it going the other way. Then I'm applying brakes on this side so I don't just keep sliding down the fairway like we saw with the first swing you did.
The brakes is a great way to think about it.
It's like you've got this big obstacle that's kind of slow and cumbersome, and you got to use the brakes properly to make it move correctly. Okay, so let's demonstrate to the best of your ability what's happening with that.
Okay, so I'm going to get in here and do the best I can, making that same move.
Okay, so as we're replaying this data for you, you're going to see Shaun's mass move away from the target a couple inches. He's applying those brakes to slow that down and change the direction. Then you're going to see his mass shift towards the target, which is what you see with great players. Then he's applying those brakes so he doesn't keep sliding down the fairway. Doing this, you want to understand how to do both. So let's talk about a drill where you can start to train this. Because you can think of the swing and keep trying to make it simpler and simpler and simpler where you start stripping away this dynamic movement. That'll make the swing simpler, but it's like, you know, I can really make a vertical leap simple if I don't try to move in the opposite direction. I'm just going to have a really crappy vertical leap if I just try to move up. So you want to have this counter movement.
Yeah, I mean, we put a lot of this in our weight and pressure series that we did years ago in our Matrix program, but I think one of the ones that is really good is just sit up to the ball normal and put your feet together. And then you're going to make a step away. When you do that, it's going to kind of move your mass over there a little bit, but that foot is going to kind of brace you. So it's step, swing, and then you're going to just kind of fall on this foot when you step it and then unwind. And those two, step, swing, fall, swing, will get you feeling the mass and the pressure, not only moving the right amount, but the timing, which is critical, right?
Absolutely. So let's demonstrate one of those.
All right,
here.
so here.
Now the key for this is the timing of it.
Yeah, because this is one that can get off the rails quick.
All right, so we're going to do a slow version of this first. Now I want you to start with the club in front of the ball a little bit.
Okay.
Because as the club's passing the ball, that's where I want you to make that first step.
Yep. So
Okay?
ready?
Yep.
So step, swing, fall, swing.
Okay. Now, part of this drill, with anything really, is the coordination of the movements. Sometimes you just got to go slow to develop the coordination, right? We've done this drill 8,000 times.
Such a good drill.
So let's add a little pace to it now if you got the hang of it.
All right, let's give it a try. So start here. It feels like you got a lot more time if you do this correctly.
Okay, I'm going to make one tweak to that. Let's do
Yeah.
one more. And I want you to kind of time the step with the swinging of the club a little bit. There we go. Excellent.
Something like that.
That's how we want to do it, right? You're not going to hit the ball great doing this. We use foam balls all the time because we don't know where these balls are going to go when you're not used to making these movements. And this isn't a drill to improve impact. This is a drill, not directly, this is a drill to improve the sequencing and movement of the mass as you're learning to swing. So adding that dynamic piece to it.
It's crazy how much like smoother and how much the timing improves just watching my own golf swing. It also gets you getting this kind of early speed here in the takeaway, which also gets things moving in the right direction.
Lets it die later, and then you just develop a lot of really good benefits. So
don't discount this one.
Use this drill. If you're trying not to move your mass, rethink that, because the mass does move in great swings. You just got to make sure you've got the brakes to control it, and when to apply the gas pedal, when to apply the brakes. Just like with your car, you're going to have a much better swing because of it.